Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream today. Today we have a phenomenal, a person of very high stature, an author, an economist, with us in our podcast today. Let me give you a bit of his bio first and foremost. He's a public policy analyst with extensive experience in political campaigns and has worked with politicians from West Bengal to study the nature of political development in West Bengal during the last 30 years. He has authored a book called Influencing India, Lobbying in the World's Largest Democracy. This he wrote in 2011, and this is perhaps the only book on this subject of lobbying. Then he has co-authored a book called Winning the Mandate, The Indian Experience. He wrote this in 2016 on the 2014 Indian general election, and also his most recent book, which will be mainly the topic of our discussion today. He wrote this in 2021, Losing the Plot. Writing on political economy since his college days, he has been Secretary, Economic Affairs in the Industry Chamber, FICCI, FICCI, and has contributed to various publications of the Chamber, including jointly putting together the history of FICCI during its 75th anniversary year. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Sir, let's start with this topic. A very interesting topic to look at, I think, that West Bengal has been politically isolated for ever since I was born, and I've always heard the excuses that, see, CPIM used to give this excuse that, see, since we are not in the center, therefore the center is not cooperating with us. Now Trinamool gives the same excuse. So, will we get development only if the same party remains in power in the center and in the state, or is there a middle ground as well? How did West Bengal lose the plot in being politically relevant in the center?
No, there are examples of many states which have come up. Then West Bengal's neighboring state, Odisha, it does not have any central government, central party ruling there.
Yes.
And still it has developed, and it has developed very well. And Gujarat actually was the opposition government was there when Congress was ruling the center.
Yes.
And Gujarat developed in fact, not only opposition, it was a hostile central government against Narendra Modi as chief minister, but it
Yes.
developed.
Yes.
So development does not depend only on the central government, because you see today's development is on private sector investment. Development investment capital will come to a place where there is, this atmosphere, the environment for working, where the capital that is invested, it will have return, proper return, without any leakages, without any
Yes.
stoppages. West Bengal does not offer that. So how
Right.
can West Bengal develop? So West Bengal wanted to go backward, and its intellectuals and these pandits there, they wanted it to remain backward because it helps them in selling their narrative. So I find no reason. I mean, why I must blame somebody? First, I must rectify myself. Thereafter, I may find if there are any problems to point out that because of this, I am unable to develop. So till that West Bengal does it, it cannot develop. They have to change their mindset.
Where do you think is this nexus between the intellectuals and whatever political party comes to power? Why are the political parties changing but the intellectuals not changing?
Well, intellectuals study certain books, certain theories, certain policies, and they remain stuck to that.
Right.
It's very difficult for intellectual to go beyond his intellect and read something else and criticize it or like it objectively. For instance, you can ask many of these intellectuals today, even abroad, I have seen there is a book called liberalism, why liberalism failed. It's
Okay.
by a political scientist called Patrick Deneen.
Okay.
He is a reputed person, but this book I found was not reviewed much. In
Right.
fact, whatever review it was there, even in Western press, it was reviewed negatively. But this book, Patrick Deneen, has not criticized liberalism.
Right.
He simply said that within liberalism, there are elements which help people to think and criticize liberalism. So, if liberalism apparently looks that it has failed, it has failed because inherent within this liberalism, there is those elements which makes people think. So the problem with intellectuals in West Bengal in particular is that they are accustomed to using a certain jargon, and they never go deep into the subject, and they never think objectively. They object certain things because as if I mean, they were trained to object that thing from the day they were born. See, they never look at the something else. So that is why, I mean, intellectuals are like that. And then another problem of intellectuals I have seen among many of my friends who remain in academics,
Hmm.
they love to promote the people who subscribe to their thoughts, the coterie,
Hmm.
and they never allow somebody else to come up and flourish within their. They for anybody having contrary view, they never allow
Yes.
that person to grow.
Hmm.
And in West Bengal, leftism has taken such a deep root
Hmm.
that they never allow anybody who is not leftist to
Hmm.
flourish.
Yeah.
That's why West Bengal, I mean, it is fashionable to think leftist
Right.
in West. If you
Yeah.
think otherwise,
Yeah.
you are a pariah.
Yeah. Sir, the leftist intellectuals listening to you would argue that we don't promote such people holding the contrary views because they hold the fascist, Nazi, Hindutvadi, majoritarian, regressive views. So why promote them? Why give them a voice?
Yeah, that's nice. In fact, West Bengal learned fascism. Learned to criticize fascism and support leftism at a time when Mr. Stalin, the
Hmm.
gentleman called Stalin, was murdering his colleagues
Hmm.
with wanton impunity, who was unleashing his secret police. And if you read anything, you know the kind of people, the kind of persons he had killed, jailed, or
Yes.
tortured is unthinkable.
Yes.
Even the fascists, if you take away the attack on Jews by Hitler,
Hmm.
the fascists did not attack that many or kill that many people of their own type.
Right.
So, if these people think that fascism is only what Hitler propounded or Mussolini did,
Hmm.
and what Stalin did or Mao did, and
Hmm.
people they killed, that is not fascism, that is democracy, then, well, there is something wrong with their brain. I
Hmm.
can't help it.
Here they would argue that that's not real communism. Real communism has not been tried yet.
Oh, really? As if it was tried in West Bengal, right?
No, it's
I
not tried
had
in.
seen, in fact, I had grown up in an area where
Hmm.
real communism was prospering in West Bengal.
Hmm.
And I had seen, I mean, sadly, how West Bengal has gone down the drain.
Hmm.
Real communism is, this, what is it? So many murders. Real communism is, Panchayati Raj. And Panchayati Raj, why? Because you can have this, the command over village level people. You
Hmm.
can have command over fund flow to
Hmm.
the lowest strata, and you can give fund only to them who support you. So that is real communism, right?
Hmm.
I do not know what is real communism.
What do you think of Cuba? Because communism supporters, even today argue with me that no, all else leave aside, but at least Cuba's healthcare is great. But I ask them that if their healthcare is so great, why are they escaping to Florida? But what do you think of Cuba or especially the healthcare industry?
Well, I have not studied Cuba in depth,
Hmm.
but there are I I think the people fleeing from Cuba to this American coast was a major problem for Cuba. They had to
Hmm.
use deploy all their arsenals to stop them.
Yes.
So if that is so great, then why they were flying away,
Hmm.
and why the Cubans who go there they do never return to Cuba?
Yes.
I really don't know. Maybe Cuba has changed, but I have not. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
Niranjan. I have not studied Cuba
Hmm.
in depth, so I will not be able to say.
And they are staunch. Those Cubans who leave Cuba are staunch Republicans in USA as well. They are not. They don't go anywhere near leftist politics ever again.
Yeah, naturally. So they had seen leftism in
Right.
person. So
Yes.
naturally, they want to fly away. They had flown away from leftism geographically, and they want
Right.
to fly away from there intellectually also.
Exactly. So, sir, then what is the difference between Cubans and Bengali leftists who go to Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, USA, but still remain communist in their mind?
Well, one thing is that kind of some kind of nostalgia, perhaps.
Hmm.
In fact, people who left West Bengal stay elsewhere, and if they criticize West Bengal, like I myself have faced this thing, how can a Bengali criticize West Bengal?
Right.
Well, but how can I not? Because Bengalis are also certain kind of species who needs to be praised or criticized. If you
Hmm.
demand to be praised, then you
Hmm.
have to, somebody has every right to criticize it.
Hmm.
Now, Bengalis, they think they are intellectually superior.
Right.
No, really so? I do not know how Bengalis are intellectually superior.
Nobel
How many
Prize.
Bengalis are in the top notch of the corporate sector globally?
Their
The,
argument is that those are evil exploitative capitalist industries, but we have two Nobel Prizes, which are the true marks of intellect.
well, Nobel Prizes have some kind of, two Nobel Prizes, that too in economics, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And, I mean, I really do not know how they got it, but maybe they are good in that. But I do not find any. For instance, if you talk about Nobel in economics,
Hmm.
just recently died one Nobel laureate, Daniel Kahneman.
Hmm.
He created one new stream on economics called behavioral science.
Yes, yes.
So, I mean, I do not think that Amartya Sen or for that matter, Abhijit Binayak
Hmm.
have created any such stream. They
Hmm.
talk about poverty, which, see, one thing you must appreciate
Hmm.
that for a rich person, poverty is nostalgia.
Hmm.
So, I mean, they love.
Hmm.
I mean, coming back to the West Bengal context,
Yes.
Rekha Patra would have been a nostalgic element for the leftists had there been somebody taught in leftism from Oxford coming there as a candidate.
Hmm.
As long as she is not trying to be MP herself, she would have been, somebody who they would have talked about.
Hmm.
So, I mean, leftism, I really don't know. Their romanticism is something different. Well, there are many people who have got Nobel for various reasons.
Hmm.
But two persons have won Nobel does not mean, I mean, somebody who has Amartya Sen or Abhijit have won Nobel does not mean a professor in Motijhil College or some other college, I mean, is equally, intellectually capable.
Right.
So, I mean, this is no argument.
So, sir, you've taken a very specific and a beautiful direction here. What exactly is the marker to judge whether West Bengal has great intellect or not?
That, what? Well, one thing is, of course, in our daily life, we can feel that it lacks intellect.
Hmm.
And another very easy way to judge is that how many students actually get away from West Bengal.
Hmm.
How many of them study there within West Bengal? How
Right.
many of them after study go back to West Bengal?
Right.
Even for those who teach colleges, I mean,
Hmm.
suppose somebody who wants to pursue academics and if he gets a job in Ashoka University,
Hmm.
will he teach in Ashoka University or he will go to some Vidyasagar University there in West Bengal? You just tell
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
If not, that definitely is a standard
Hmm.
that you are going down every day. Nobody, even your own people who are steeped into the romanticism of leftism,
Hmm.
they also do not to come back there.
Hmm. Sir, what went wrong in the trajectory of West Bengal then? Because none of this happened elsewhere in any other state. Why did communism take so much root only in West Bengal? Why did only West Bengal lose the plot?
Well, this is very interesting. I have tried to argue on that in my book, and I am really still confused, as a matter of fact. But if you look at the growth of leftism and or that separation of West Bengal from the rest of India,
Hmm.
uh, I mean, basically it started with arrival of Mahatma Gandhi.
I see.
So, because West Bengal, their romantic politics, that
Hmm.
Subhash Bose's politics,
Hmm.
it did not gel with ideas of Mahatma Gandhi.
Hmm.
In fact, another thing I find very curious, I mean, I cannot ask him, he is long gone.
Hmm.
Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das,
Hmm.
he was the stalwart leader. Actually,
Yes.
there were three stalwart leaders of Congress, but unfortunately, Bal Gangadhar Tilak died. So only Deshbandhu and Mahatma Gandhi were left. Now, Deshbandhu wanted to, enter these assemblies, etc. So
Hmm.
Gandhi was against it. So he set up Swarajya Party.
Hmm.
So he, along with Motilal Nehru, they contested the election. That time, Congress activity was nothing.
Hmm.
Anyway, post-election, Sir Das decided to stay back in West Bengal, that
Hmm.
in Bengal rather,
Hmm.
Calcutta.
Hmm.
Whereas he let Motilal Nehru remain the leader of this, Swarajya Party
Yes.
in Delhi.
Hmm.
Now, very clearly, in the mind of Sir Das,
Hmm.
Calcutta was bigger
Right.
than Delhi, which was national capital,
Yes.
which I find somewhat curious. I mean, I would really have loved to ask Deshbandhu Sir Das that why did you not choose national politics over these West Bengal politics?
Hmm.
I mean, Bengalis were somehow, even such a stalwart like Siar Das was very narrow minded and focused on Bengal only.
I see. So, sir, was then that also a part of the linguistic pride of West Bengal, just or regional
Well,
pride?
I mean, but I don't understand why there has to be linguistic pride of a Bengali.
Hmm.
Is there any good reason? I really don't know. What could be the reason?
Their
I mean, in
argument,
which way you tell me Hindi is inferior to Bengali?
it's not
Because there is
our.
no Rabindranath Tagore.
Oh, also that, yes. There's no good
So
poetry.
somebody won Nobel Prize in 1913, and there are many political reasons why he was given Nobel Prize,
Hmm.
because they wanted to show the this trump of this English British rule
Hmm.
and how they are brought up and
Yes.
educated and so on and so forth.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, do you remember who won this thing Nobel Prize in 1901 or 19 whatever 1906?
No.
Do not.
Hmm.
So somebody won Nobel Prize in 1913
Hmm.
does not mean globally he is that much known.
Hmm.
There are so many people who win Nobel Prize. This year also somebody will win Nobel Prize. Last
Hmm.
year who won Nobel Prize? Do
Yes.
you read that person?
No.
See, Rabindranath as a Bengali, I have read it in original and I
Hmm.
do read it and I do follow. I love Rabindranath.
Hmm.
But that does not force me to say that he is the greatest.
Hmm.
And that's why I'm proud.
Hmm.
Well, I am very happy and I am really happy that somebody like Rabindranath wrote in Bengali and I can read Bengali.
Hmm.
But that doesn't make me feel that as if somebody else who wrote,
Hmm.
or George Bernard Shaw for that matter, or somebody, Shakespeare of course never won Nobel Prize, so he must be bad. So, I mean, as if they are bad.
Hmm.
So I really find no reason why we have to be, and again, you tell me, see, this is a language. See, nowadays everything is on the computer, right? You are
Hmm.
writing on the
Yes.
computer. Now you look at the keyboard. Now, how difficult it is to write in Bengali.
Yes.
So how can you be proud of such a language?
Hmm.
You modernize it.
Yes. Their argument would be that it's not, it's ours and Hindi is not ours, therefore. Or their weirder argument is that, see, the Tamils are doing it, the Kannadigas are doing it, but the Marathis are doing it. Why shouldn't we do it? We also show that how
No, what
proud
are
we
they
are.
doing? What are the Tamils doing? What are the Marathis doing?
They are
Are
not,
they not talking in Hindi when they are in rest of India?
according to Bengali linguistic pride people, yes, that they are protecting their language as much as possible.
Absolutely rubbish. They speak in Hindi only. In fact, my daughter,
Hmm.
she also works in this public affairs sphere.
Okay.
The other day, she was interviewing certain political persons because they were surveying for on behalf of a politician
Hmm.
in remote Karnataka. Haveri Bulke. There is a
Okay.
place called Haveri where
Okay.
former CM Bommai, I think, is contesting.
Okay.
In that area, they were interviewing people.
Hmm.
And I was asking her that, did you speak in English? Well, no, they were all speaking in Hindi.
I see.
What rubbish! I mean, and even the other day, that Rekha Patra, that girl from village and
Hmm.
absolute downtrodden,
Hmm. Hmm.
she was talking in flattering Hindi with Prime Minister. It was quite understandable. So
Yes.
what's wrong with that? Hindi is very close to Bengali.
Hmm. Exactly. Now, the new extension of that linguistic pride is that we need to save Bengali because, see, even Bollywood, Hindi songs are taking over our spaces. Our movies, Bengalis mainly watch Hindi movies, Bengali mainly listen to Hindi songs all day on radio. So now they are going on protesting in front of radio offices and movie theaters that why aren't you showing Bengali movies and why aren't you playing Bengali songs? Why do you think that is happening?
See, those who are playing Bengali songs or showing Bengali movies,
Hmm.
are they doing it for linguistic pride, exhibit their linguistic pride, or they want to have some return on the money they have invested in the facility they have created for airing the song or showing the movie?
Hmm.
Which one?
Economics.
If it is for returning recouping the investment,
Yes.
then they will sell something which gives them the money back.
Hmm.
Even if porno is regularized, I mean, not anti-social or anything or
Hmm.
illegal,
Hmm.
they will like to show porno.
Yeah.
It's a market economy. It's
Yes.
not a Bengali linguistic pride.
Yes. Sir, Was there any? Did the linguistic pride lead to West Bengal being disconnected from the center, or West Bengal being disconnected for so many years politically, that is fueling this linguistic pride?
West Bengal is a funny place. See, they are disconnected with India, but all their children, that is in my age group, their children, they work outside West Bengal.
Yes.
See, even if that person is a doctor or anything, they go and work in distant Chennai or somewhere or abroad.
Yes.
So, I mean, you be proud. I mean, if you are, if you cannot ask your children to work, as a matter of fact, some 40, more than 70 years back in the mid 60s, people from Delhi, I have heard from people who are slightly elder to me, they used to go to Calcutta to seek job.
Right.
And now they come to Delhi, Mumbai, or Bangalore, or even Hyderabad, for that matter, for job. 1 second, sorry. So see, you be proud. Be proud of your achievement. Don't be proud of your history.
See, sir, everything you are saying to Bengalis here, they say that this is the Hindutva is also doing the same thing. They are being proud of Sanskrit, they are being proud of their history, etc. So, what is the difference?
No, if they are proud of this kind of Hindutvadi or anything, which is maybe anti-growth, anti-progress, and will you imitate them?
No. Right. And
So
sir,
why just compare something which you do not like to imitate if they are backward?
yes.
But researching your history is not backwardness. If Hindutva guys they are researching this, this past temples or past achievements of Hindu kings or this, that Hindu, what is civilization and so on and so forth. That is studying something which happened in your geography.
Yes.
And your ancestors, they had done something. Even a Bengali, for that matter, can definitely research on that, and they can definitely talk about it. There is no harm in it. But that does not make you superior to everybody else.
Yes. Yes.
What I am objecting to is that typical superiority complex.
Right. Sir, a lot of communists have this excuse now that who are mainly born after the 90s, that you see we are not against development because see even Buddhadev Bhattacharya tried to do development and we are only angry with Trinamool. Only Trinamool is to blame here. What do you think their argument is correct?
No, you see, yeah, they should be angry with Tinumul. That is true because nobody, excepting those who made money, has any reason to be happy with Trinamool. But the case is this: Buddha Babu is a class apart. In fact, he came towards the fag end of this CPM rule, and he came at a time when he did not have control over the party,
Right.
but the party was completely ruffianized. As a matter of fact, he was shocked in his autobiography. He has written that why the intellectuals actually went against him. He was pained at that. But even somebody like Ashok Mitra walked with this candle in his hand against Buddha Bhattacharya government. Now the fact is that it's no point just citing Buddha Bhattacharya, who failed as a politician.
Right.
He failed because of lumpenization of CPM politics
Right.
and groupism. And these are the people, those who joined Trinamool and helped Mamata. And Mamata understood the muscle is the political muscle is more important than anything else. And since there was no other way of making money, extorting money from the industrialists, so he started extorting money in as many ways as possible. So he, in effect, created a party where everybody can make money anytime and freely, give some share to the party, and you can thereafter you can during the election you help the party with your muscle power.
Yes.
So Haas is a unique what do I say mafia dome. And she did it basically from the vestiges of CPM, which actually helped Buddha Babu to fail.
Right. Sir, this is an argument I hear from everyone, from Hindutwadis, Trinamool people, everyone, that the way the Singur factory was planned, or the way the land was grabbed, it was basically grabbed, was a very illegal thing to do, and therefore it was kind of, Trinamool's protest was kind of justified. My counter argument to that has always been that since CPM did so many illegal, atrocious things, why would they do one seemingly good thing? Not why wouldn't they do that also illegally? Where do you stand on that? And then I have a follow-up question. Do you think it was a fair thing to do?
The Singur closing down a almost ready factory, where Tata actually, auto factory, the automaker does not make every ingredient.
Yes.
There are the ancillary manufacturers are there. In fact, I am personally aware of some other ancillary manufacturer. They are a big industry body now. They had completed their factory.
Right.
They were actually manufacturing. They were supposed to manufacture the body.
Yes.
They supply steel. So everything was ready. It was a question of when to launch that factory. Well, and auto industry gives rise to many other ancillaries inside and outside.
Yes.
So if you look at the prospect that West Bengal lost, it's huge in the form of good auto factory, which Tata's came to do it there, number one. Number two, as far as the Indian industry brand is concerned, Tata is a big name. Even today, it is a respected name. Whether people criticize or not, it's immaterial. So driving away Tata, as a matter of fact, what is that steel company? I'm forgetting the name. The UK one steel company was sold, and this company, they even the employees, they wanted it to be sold to the Tatas. Of course, now Tatas, I think, have divested that. Chorus, that Chorus Steel Company.
Okay.
So Tatas are named, known globally as a good employer.
Right.
So the driving away Tata was, I think, protesting, though if some land was grabbed illegally or otherwise, etc., getting them fair compensation and not letting go such a good investment perhaps would have been more desirable from a leader, regional leader, than letting it close it down completely and driving it out.
Yes, sir. So then, sir, my follow-up question is that since the intellectuals were probably aware of all of CPM's atrocities, right? They probably were in favor of many of those atrocities as well. What was special about the Singur movement that all of a sudden they woke up and protested on the streets?
I really don't know. I was in Calcutta in those days. I was with a TV channel.
Okay.
Well, and Mamta was protesting. They all thought that this is an atrocity on poor people. Actually, to my mind, what had happened, this CPM's land policy perhaps went against them. What had happened? Many of these people who were tilling those lands, they were not owners of those lands. They were holding barga.
Okay.
So, but when you are selling the land, you are selling those who sold to Tata, they were the owner of the land. Their land was taken by these tillers, were barga holders. But barga holders, these farmers, they were not getting any compensation. The compensation went to the landholder.
Yes.
Perhaps that time, if the government and the opposition sat together and thought of rehabilitating this group of people, their grievance was genuine. I have no issue with that, no problem with that.
Okay.
But then there are other ways of solving that problem, no?
Yes. Sir, I had an economics teacher in my school. I did not take economics. I was a pure arts guy, but my Trinamool supporting friends who did take economics, I used to have debates with them since I was a CPM supporter back then in my school. So they told me that the economics teacher has told them that why did the factory need to come up in Singur only? Why couldn't it be made elsewhere? So where do we draw the line between what's the capitalists' demand versus ecology, agriculture, etc.? Even now, since now Bengal is still very virgin in terms of development, we are going to have to destroy the environment in some ways. So how do we make these choices?
No, in the first place, Singur land, it is not cultivable anymore,
Right.
because fly ash was used
Hmm.
to elevate the land and so on and so forth.
Yes.
If there was any problem of raising the environmental problem, um, I to the best of my memory, quite a few factories were coming up on that Bardhaman road, that
Right.
highway,
Hmm.
and it was not, and that's why they had shown that that area it is
Yes.
open for development.
Hmm.
So, and West Bengal is surviving agriculturally. They say that they are very vibrant and all so on and so forth,
Hmm.
without single land being growing anything at all.
Yes.
So, as such, an environmental damage was done even before the factory land was given to the Tatas.
Okay.
So, I really don't know this. I think environmental argument is an afterthought of the intellectuals, as they always do.
Hmm.
I do not think that, in fact, they never thought of the other factories which were coming across GT Road or along that whatever road,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
National
True.
Highway came up there later.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they
Yes.
never spoke about that.
Hmm.
Those land was very fertile land. As a matter of fact,
Yes.
when I was in State Bank of India, I was in rural bank,
Okay.
agriculture farming. I had visited those places.
Hmm.
Those are very rich in this jute
Hmm.
growing, potato growing.
Yes.
Rice was, of course, a very important crop.
Yes.
The cold storages were coming up.
Hmm.
It was quite prosperous agriculturally.
Hmm.
But anyway, for other demand or some other reason, industry started coming.
Hmm.
And maybe the government of Buddha Bhattacharya or the bureaucrats, they thought that this area, as it is, its factories are coming up. So why not show it to Tatas? And the land was very well located actually
Hmm.
for any factory.
Exactly.
So that's why they chose it.
Yes. Sir, does West Bengal really have that much of non-fertile land to do industries, or now in the future should we really focus on only agriculture because we have so much fertile land, or should we do industry as well?
Well, I don't know whether only agriculture can help an economy.
Hmm.
And again, when you talk about agriculture, then it will be the mechanized agriculture
Right.
and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
Then again, you will say that there will be surplus labor. The typical book of Amartya Sen that I have
Hmm.
read, it will come to that disguised unemployment.
Hmm.
So, I this is something one has to see. I had read with curiosity while working on my book certain plans. This 2001, around that time,
Hmm.
this where Obijit Binayak was also a member. There were younger guys,
Hmm.
Kaushik Basu, etc. were there.
Yes.
They gave a development plan for West Bengal.
Hmm.
And I found what is curious thing that I found in their plan is that they spoke of small scale industry, developing small scale industry in West Bengal.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge and experience in life, working closely with industry, small scale is an ancillary industry. It thrives along with other industrial clusters and things like
Right.
that. And they were talking of developing small scale industry in West Bengal.
Hmm.
To the best of my knowledge, even as a banker, I had seen at one point of time,
Hmm.
Howrah area was the forging capital of India.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it has gone, absolutely gone. It is, I
Yes.
think, now organ breakers capital or something of that sort now.
Hmm.
Now, this why forging industry shifted to elsewhere? Because the big industries died down.
Hmm.
You have to have those industry to sustain the SMEs.
Hmm.
Now, these people, they in their plan, they gave that West Bengal should go for MSMEs. Well, fine,
Hmm.
MSME. In the first place, MSME per se cannot
Hmm.
grow and survive.
Hmm.
Secondly, their plan somehow in 2001 already, in the post 98 99, actually already India was going towards some kind of progress.
Yes.
Narasimha Rao did something, then 2 years of this damadol, whatever you
Yeah.
call it, and then after Bajpayee came again, the policies started growing towards
Yes.
and in 2001, already many parts of India were
Hmm.
developing. Gujarat
Yeah.
started doing, Maharashtra was there,
Hmm.
Chakan, particularly Pune area.
Yes.
And these people, they had a development plan as if West Bengal is an independent country.
Right.
not linked to rest of India.
Hmm.
And a plan has to be comprehensive, keeping in mind the national development and how in West Bengal can join there, right?
Hmm.
But I found curiously that their plan lacked that.
Hmm.
West Bengal, I mean, I do not know why West Bengal thinks in isolation. You have to integrate with the, see what India West Bengal did. This is another, of course, it's my own feeling only.
Okay.
What happened after Bangladesh came,
Hmm.
and West Bengal intellectuals could cross the border, go to Bangladesh, sell their books there,
Right.
uh, wear some, this garland and all that, and carry some well printed, manno patto or something. So they became somehow enamored by Bangladesh.
Yes.
And even now, they talk about the Human Development Index of Bangladesh.
Yes.
But if it is Human Development Index is so high, why people from Bangladesh somehow cross the border and somehow stay there and then come to here across my society here itself? I
Hmm.
find many of them are there staying there. Okay, I have no problem. They are working,
Hmm.
they're doing lots of, but I mean, why are they doing it? Does it show that human development index is very high? How many people from West Bengal go there and work in Bangladesh?
Yes. This is the same Cuba type of argument.
Yeah, of course.
Sir, this reminds me that you probably you know who Sanjeev Sanyal is, of course.
Yeah, yes, of course.
He recently got into a big controversy for basically criticizing Bengali intelligentsia, saying that we glorify so much poverty in Mrinal Sen kind of movies, and he said the main problem of he diagnosed it as poverty of aspirations. Do you agree with that?
Oh, of course, there is poverty of aspiration. As a matter of fact, as I was telling you that about subaltern thing.
Right.
Yes, subaltern is actually globally also. I think if you Google, you'll get names of Ranjit Guha, Partho Chatterjee.
Hmm.
I used to be all
Gayatri Spivak.
quite fascinated by such intellectuals. Yes.
Hmm.
So subalternism is a as a study
Hmm.
um, had contribution of Bengalis,
Hmm.
and a subaltern has been given ticket for Lok Sabha election.
Yes.
Don't you think the supporters of subalternism they should go there and support this female?
Yeah, their argument is that no, this is a regressive subaltern who is going to be atrocious towards Muslims because this is a Hindutvadi party. So it's a bad subaltern.
No, how many Muslims did Rekha Patra kill? I do not know.
She will enable those people who are going to do bad things to Muslims or who are going to kick out Muslims from the country. These are the
I really
arguments.
don't know. I mean, they are all crazy. I mean, I mean that is why. That, in fact, this Patrick Denon's book that I had mentioned earlier,
Hmm.
and in fact, that is why I think they did not like Patrick Denon's book
Hmm.
because he mentioned those things.
Right.
Now, you look at one more funny thing. You would
Hmm.
look at it this way. Now, you have studied general, sociology and politics.
Hmm.
Liberalism came as an antidote to leftism,
Hmm.
as a part of capitalism, right?
Yes.
This liberalism and leftism were to be at loggerheads.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And strangely, with the growth of some kind of isms like Trump, Modi, and that kind of people,
Hmm.
all of a sudden, the left and liberals, we uttered them in the same breath together.
Yes.
I mean, I find it is very curious that
Hmm.
how left and liberal can be together.
Right. Did Bengal ever have a separate liberal section, or it was always basically nationalist liberal people and leftists?
No, there are Bengalis were known to be liberals. No, this many of these Congressy leaders, etc., intellectuals, they were
Yeah,
quite
they were
liberal.
always nationalist.
A nationalist, see, a liberal does not mean that he need not have to be nationalist. Also,
Yeah, now that is also the most recent argument that if you're nationalist, that's inherently somehow Nazi-like, Nazi adjacent.
they are very actually they have not studied history properly.
Right.
In fact, I would tell them to. I am forgetting the name of that author, but anyway, that narrative is like this: that in the Second World War, Hitler wanted to take over France, But as far as army and machinery, etc., is concerned, war machinery, France was more powerful than Germany.
Okay.
The generals actually wanted Hitler to wait, not
Hmm.
to attack France.
Okay.
Hitler said nothing doing. You
Hmm.
just attack them within so many days.
Hmm.
And they did and overpowered France. France simply surrendered.
Yes.
Now, the background which Hitler had studied was that in the First World War, France had devastation. In fact, the French and German soldiers fought, and lots of French young men died. As a
Hmm.
matter of fact, it was so many young men died
Yeah.
that French women did not have men to get married to.
Okay.
It was that kind of situation.
Right.
So the France started, I'm forgetting the name again. They started one theory called internationalism,
Yes.
not nationalism,
Hmm.
be together. This internationalism spread in France like wildfire.
Hmm.
So they became effectively pacifist. They had strong army armaments and all that, but the people were pacifist.
Hmm.
Thank for God, it could not cross the channel. And in England, there was a strong this thing view, and they did
Hmm.
not acknowledge this pacifism.
Hmm.
But this kind of internationalism had spread in the 1930s also before the Second World War.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, even Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore also succumbed to that. And he
Yes.
also spoke, written so many things about
Yes.
it.
Yes.
But that is a particular period, particular fashion, and they had surrendered to that.
Hmm.
But that historically, it has proved counterproductive to France and very quite counterproductive to human civilization because Hitler, after succeeding in France, he could spread his tentacles.
Yes. Sir, what is this mystery that we have two Nobel Prizes in economics? Our state has, or at least people who were once born in our state, but the other states don't have. But our state's economy is in shambles. Why isn't that percolating in any way in our economy? Those two Nobels.
No, no, both the Nobel laureates were not exactly, this. They dwelled on growth economy, no.
Hmm.
So I mean, their theory will not help West Bengal to grow.
Hmm. Uh, can any economist really help a state, or it has to be the vision of the chief minister?
See, basically, any decision has to be a political decision. I mean, the government decision, right? And since the government in a democracy, it's ruled by the politician who wins, so it has to be that person's visions.
Hmm.
Now, Manmohan Singh was quite erudite. As a student, we had read his articles also. And so. Now, Manmohan Singh failed as an administrator.
Hmm.
India was going backward.
Yes.
Narendra Modi, I mean, well, even I mean, I do not think he has any, capacity to talk about economics or anything. He has not
Right.
studied this thing.
Yes.
He has a strong practical sense,
Yes.
and he understands the pulse of the people,
Right.
which can develop. So Narendra Modi in the last 10 years have been hugely successful, whereas in 10 years, Manmohan Singh had failed.
Yes.
So it's not economist or what. As a matter of fact, you look at Reserve Bank of India,
Hmm.
Raghuram Rajan, quite a known man in economics. He had actually came in the prominence also criticizing the US Fed and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Even the person who succeeded him, forgetting the name, he was also quite eminent economist. Now, the thing is, they were less successful as RBI governor than Shaktikanta Das, and
Yes.
simple bureaucrat. And
Yes.
he has gone through the two critical most phases of Indian economy. One is
Right.
COVID,
Hmm.
and the second is that Russia
Yes.
Ukraine war.
Right.
And he has passed through that very
Yes.
successfully.
Yes.
So you do not need to have economists to run an economy successfully.
Hmm. Sir, actually, people, I don't think, still properly estimate how much of a close call we had during COVID and this Russia-Ukraine war. What disasters could have happened if it was probably any other government in power. Now, I have a chartered accountant friend who says that no, actually, India is in trouble. When I argue with her that our inflation rate is still in check, it's much better than any other country, she is of the opinion that all our data is fudged. So people on the opposite end of the spectrum have completely lost faith on any government data. What do we do about that?
No, we cannot. We can help them to get treated, because after all, any government data, the same thing. The global bodies, IMF or or many other these people, they go through that data,
Hmm.
they
Right.
go through that clarity of that data,
Right.
and from there on the rating agencies, Moody's and others,
Hmm.
they are not dumbos, no.
Hmm.
So if they think that everything is forged and forged, etc.,
Hmm.
and the other important thing is their stupidity of the argument. You can understand from the way these Tesla lobbies to come to India,
Yes.
or even the Chinese BYD and others, they want to come here. The
Yes.
mobile companies, they are coming to set up business here.
Hmm.
Why Apple is so strongly positioned in India?
Yes.
So I mean, they are investing money. They are actually coming to this economy.
Hmm.
If the entire data is false, if everything is wrong,
Hmm.
so do you think they would have invested their hard-earned money? They are, after all, answerable to their shareholders.
Yes. Sir, this is one thing always makes me. Uh, I don't have an answer to this, but it makes me wonder that why didn't Narendra Modi become a povertarian like all our communists? Because since he was a poor man growing up, why didn't he also think growing up that I'll become a prime minister and end this evil capitalism that's going on and make a utopia for poor people and screw the economy in the process? Why didn't he do that? Why was he so pro business?
No, in the first place, if you really closely look at Narendra Modi, his policies, the main policies which actually help him to win votes,
Hmm.
they are all actually, the left would have loved to imitate it.
Yes.
So he has done that.
Yes.
And he knows to do that, to distribute that money,
Hmm.
Ayushman Bharat and
Hmm.
things like that,
Hmm.
whatever, PM Kishan,
Yes.
and so on and so forth.
Right.
Everything needs money.
Hmm.
So that money, the exchequer has to get it from somewhere.
Yes.
The exchequer cannot get it by extorting money the way Trinamool government in West Bengal does it.
Yeah.
The exchequer has to get it from the productive economy.
Yes.
To attract the productive economy, you have to have a policy set
Hmm.
which will help the productive economy to flourish here
Hmm.
and pay the taxes, due taxes,
Hmm.
hence the GST.
Yes.
And all these things, that's how he is getting the money.
Hmm.
And that money he is distributing.
Yes.
So, what his policies, if you look at it closely, it's not meant for Adani Ambani, howsoever much the others shout.
Hmm. Yes.
But he is helping the private sector, no doubt about it. Because if
Yes.
you look at the global development everywhere,
Hmm.
it is it depends on private capital.
Yes.
So Indian private business were never allowed to grow.
Yes.
He is allowing them to grow. As a
Hmm.
matter of fact, so much so that only few days back, Ambani has taken 26% share in Mahan coal block of power plant of Adani.
I see.
In fact, a journalist was asking me, how did it happen? I asked him that you think that Adani Ambani at rivals,
Hmm.
but don't you see, if you look at the policies and the way they are entering various sectors,
Hmm.
don't you think there is, as a matter of fact, some kind of collaborative capitalism and collaborative
Right.
competition among them? They also know they have to
Hmm.
grow. They are trying to grow. And Modi also
Hmm.
knows that unless private capital grows, my
Yes.
economy cannot grow. With government capital, I cannot grow.
Yeah.
So Modi is doing that. Modi is creating wealth on
Yes.
one hand, taking that money through proper means and
Yes.
distributing it among the people who need it.
Yes.
Himanshu Mehra, WhatsApp audio.
Now, why is Narendra Modi the only one to realize this? No other economist, no other poor leader who became a chief minister, prime minister, no one else realized. What is special about Narendra Modi in this case?
He must be a very practical person.
Right.
He must be, and he has grown in poverty. He has toured every district of the country before many other districts came up.
Yes.
He has seen people, and most of important of all, he is coming from Gujarat, where people understand business. He
Hmm.
himself proudly says that I look at the return.
Yes.
So all these things together made him the right person to introspect.
Yes.
And maybe sometimes some politicians, because of the force of circumstances, also learn so many things.
Hmm.
Maybe in Gujarat he learnt it.
Yes. So, would you say wouldn't you say that at one point in history, West Bengal was like this? Everyone had some business acumen, or was it just one section of the elite?
I think it was one section of elite. West Bengal grew also. They wanted to be clerk basically, learn English and work for the Britishers or those people. Only
Hmm.
some people like Dwarkanath Thakur, Cartaker
Right.
and company and all these things came up.
Hmm.
Some of them. But if you look at it, they were also doing basically trading. The business, for instance, coal mining, that in that part of the world, actually, the Thappars, they came from Delhi.
Hmm.
That quite a few of them were actually these the tea gardens. Of course, the Britishers who own it, but
Hmm.
then when they sold it off,
Hmm.
the Marwaris, they bought it as.
Yes.
In fact, then GD Birla, he was another
Yes.
stalwart industrialist. They
Right.
were all, because Calcutta was the major business center, so they were settled in Calcutta. They are
Hmm.
doing business from there,
Hmm.
and they were setting up plants and factories or going for industry wherever it was helping them.
Hmm.
So
This.
I do not think any. Yes, of course, one Bengali was there. Our Martin Run, this Sir Rajan Mukherjee.
Right.
They were there,
Yes.
but they were just a handful.
Yes. Sir, this obsession with just learning English and taking up a job, was that because of poverty, or was that because what Raja Ram Mohan Roy kind of showed as an aspirational model to follow?
No, that was a good payback model in those days. It was
Hmm.
good salary, good life, and
Hmm.
learning English was easy to get such jobs.
Hmm.
Well, see, basically, people what? People want to earn their living.
Yes.
So that was an easy option of earning living.
Hmm.
So they joined jobs.
So, did Bengalis ever have that risk-taking attitude? They had in history, of course, since we are a seafaring community, river merchant community forever historically. When did we lose that?
Any person for that matter, Bengali or Gujarati or anybody,
Hmm.
will take risk only when they see that return is not very far and there can be return.
Hmm.
So in Bengal, they never looked at it that way, perhaps.
Right. Who do you blame more for the deindustrialization, or most for deindustrialization of Bengal? Didn't it start with Nehru only, or do we blame just Jyoti Basu here?
No, no, of course, it started with Nehru, as a matter of fact. In fact, their policies,
Hmm.
their very interesting policy, like these PSUs were set up elsewhere
Hmm.
in Bangalore or some such places, because the argument was that West Bengal is in the border of, this Pakistan in
Hmm.
those days, hostile country and so on.
Yes.
Although that is there, the PSUs were not coming up. And then another important thing is this: the Bengali refugees
Hmm.
who came from East Bengal. They were really ill-treated. They were not given proper rehabilitation package or anything by
Yes.
Nehru government.
Yes.
And actually, when India was made independent, we did not have any tall leader, and particularly after death of Shama Prasad. In
Yes.
any way, Shama Prasad was in opposition,
Hmm.
so there was no strong voices. And then the strong voice was there, the leftists, but they
Hmm.
were more fascinated by their Stalin and so on and so forth. They had taken these East Pakistan displaced persons as their vote bank kind of
Hmm.
thing,
Yes.
supporters. So they never fought with the central government for the proper rehabilitation.
Yes.
Dr. B.C. Rai tried to do something
Right.
with his capacity and all that.
Yes.
But he also could not stop many things. For instance, freight equalization policy
Yes.
for coal, he could not stop it.
Yes.
And he is Damodar Valley, this thing he started, but anyway, it went up to that far only.
Yes.
So,
Uh, so, sir, could you give us a short, brief history of the deindustrialization the drives that the CPIM was doing? Why was it, at least on face value, what was their argument when they were deindustrializing and kicking out all the industries?
no, they were not deindustrializing.
Okay.
They were catering to their vote bank.
Hmm.
Their vote bank were the workers.
Hmm.
And their theory was workers are being deprived,
Hmm.
cheated.
Yes.
The capital is actually exploiting them.
Hmm. Uh,
So through that, they started using various means of strike, gherav, and so on and so forth.
yes.
So the productivity here became difficult,
Hmm.
came down. So naturally, the industrialists like this, most of them, even Ruya was based in Calcutta once upon a time.
Yes.
So many of them, So Singhania was based in Calcutta.
Hmm.
Even Birlas, so
Yes.
they all left the city because what's the point in staying there if you
Yes.
cannot do your business? So they shifted their headquarters also.
Yes.
It was basically the political benefit of the left
Hmm.
which could not be countered
Hmm.
because ab initio this the central government did not rehabilitate these people who is Pakistan displaced persons,
Hmm.
and then again quite a few Bengali Hindus they still started coming in.
Hmm.
It was not that in 46, 47 they came and it stopped.
No.
It went on,
Yes.
and West Bengal could not accommodate them with proper economic infrastructure.
Yes.
Whereas intelligent people like the leftist and others, politicians, they accommodated them in their political party.
Hmm.
So that's how West Bengal's downslide started.
Yes. I've read in Sanjeev Sanyal's book that Rajan Mukherjee was at point in fact paying the highest salaries in the entire country. Even then
Yes, he was.
his even then the protests happened.
No, they are because they had to do it.
Yes. Sir, Sanjeev Sanyal has this interesting argument that actually economic advisors of any government who are basically leading their state or the country to gigantic growth rates, they should be the ones given the Nobel Prize, etc. in economics. Now, is there any way to hire any economic advisor based on that? Who do we hire for advising Mamta Banerjee?
Oh, no. Nobody can advise her.
Okay.
Impossible.
Sir, then what does West Bengal need right now?
A change of government, of course, and complete a very strong chief minister who can, beat the hell out of those ruffians
Hmm.
and force people to work.
Yes.
And so that is the initial thing. You have to bring in law and order. You have to change the entire police force. You have to bring in law and order. You have to establish a civil society in West Bengal.
Exactly.
And then you have to naturally change the healthcare system. You have to change the education system.
Hmm.
It is in very bad shape.
Yes. Sir, is handling the ruffians at all possible? Because anyone who comes to power today in West Bengal will have to come to power with the help of those ruffians. What are they going to do after the party
Yeah,
comes to power?
I also thought so that if you follow the same kind of politics, as a matter of fact, in 2021, BJP perhaps thought of that, and their think tank actually tried to use those ruffians and
Hmm.
thought that with that they will grow
Hmm.
just by showing photo of Narendra Modi.
Hmm.
But anyway, that was a big mistake.
Hmm.
I presume that in West Bengal, if there is a change in government now,
Hmm.
this change of government will come from within, in the sense that depending on the result and other things coming in court, judgments, etc.,
Yes.
this government will collapse from within.
Right.
So naturally, a fresh election will be there. New government has to be elected,
Hmm.
and that will give an opportunity for West Bengal voters to choose carefully.
Hmm.
And if they get, this excited by the development progress, even for Uttar Pradesh, actually, the
You're
way
right.
Uttar Pradesh is growing,
Hmm.
unimaginable.
Yeah.
Actually, I stay in Uttar Pradesh only, Noida.
Okay.
The development is phenomenal.
Hmm. Even Abhijit Banerjee did a collaboration with Yogi Adityanath. He's setting up his laboratory in UP only, not West Bengal.
Naturally, it has to be. Uttar Pradesh will be a state to watch in
Hmm.
future.
Yes.
It's growing very fast.
Hmm. Sir,
So,
what do
but
you?
anyway, so you need a person with a vision, not necessarily an economist or anything,
Hmm.
who really wants to do something good.
Hmm.
Um, Someone like Modi, maybe even I do not know, maybe even Buddha Babu, but stronger politically.
Right.
That kind of person who wants to do good for people
Hmm.
and without any ism or anything.
Yes.
He
Basically.
will look at administration per se.
Hmm.
He will look at what helps business to grow, and he will offer that kind of condition.
Hmm.
If it is there, then only West Bengal can develop.
Then what do you think of Justice Abhijit Ganguly joining the BJP? Is he a
No,
great CM
he
face?
wanted to be in politics. Well, so he had no other choice but to join BJP.
Hmm.
So he has joined BJP.
Is he a will he be a good chief minister candidate? Or should that be with Shubhendu or someone?
Again, as I have been talking to you, but to my mind, a chief minister need not have to be very erudite on some subject or anything.
Hmm.
He has to know the pulse of the people.
Yes.
That's why Narendra Modi is a fantastic prime minister,
Hmm.
whereas Manmohan Singh, as a fantastic person, he could not be.
Yeah.
So I do not believe in some educated guy all of a sudden becoming chief
Hmm.
minister. A
Yes.
chief minister has to be somebody who knows every corner of the state,
Yes.
and he knows the pulse of the people.
Hmm.
He knows how to beat the hell out of them, and he knows how to hug them. He
Right.
has to be of that capacity.
Yes.
So I do not think Justice Abhijit Ganguly, he can be a good minister. Maybe he can be a good law minister for Narendra
Hmm.
Modi. But chief
Yes.
minister, I think it's talking too
Hmm.
much.
Sir, what do you think of Shubhendu? Because a lot of BJP supporters or the non-left or people who are Trinamool supporters who are fed up with Trinamool, all of them have this concern that Shubhendu is going to join again Trinamool someday if he does not like BJP. Is he going to be an able administrator?
Have you seen the kind of crowd Suvendu is attracting?
Yes, gigantic.
And have you studied Narendra Modi's politics? His
Not much.
politics is to win
Yes,
with populism. You call it
right.
populism, whatever, it is with popular support to win.
Hmm.
So he has helped Hemanta Biswa Sharma to remain there in Assam because he has helped BJP otherwise.
Yes.
In West Bengal, BJP had a major problem. They did not have a mass leader like Shubhendu.
Yes.
Shubhendu got that plank. BJP got their person.
Yes.
They are made for each other.
Hmm.
I really do not know why he will join TMC.
Hmm. Sir, if BJP comes to power, will they have to continue or build more on top of this Lokhir Bhandar things?
No, one thing is there that see, giving money to the destitute uh, is perhaps required.
Okay.
Some kind of social service measure.
Okay.
But do it from your taxpayers' money
Hmm.
and leaving the this infrastructure and the productive investment, infrastructure expenses, healthcare,
Hmm.
education, etc. That you have to keep it.
Hmm.
See, if you can manage within your exchequer,
Hmm.
then why not Lokhir Bhandar? There is no problem there
Hmm.
because they have no other means of earning money.
Yes. Sir, right now the
So
Lokhir.
Lokhir Bhandar and these things per
Hmm.
se are not bad,
Okay.
provided you have means to or you can monetize the scheme. You can help these people to grow.
Hmm. But the Lokhir Bhandar budget is 12,000 crores. At least it was so in 2022-23. Imagine the kind of job opportunities that could be created with 12,000 crores. And all these people
But
who
what
require that money could have worked in those industries.
No, but 12th job opportunity, again, as I am telling you, I do not believe that job opportunity can be created by West Bengal government.
Yeah, right now it can't.
No, I mean, it has to be created by some good investment,
Hmm.
proper investment, right?
Yes.
So, I don't know. I mean, this 12,000 crore can easily come from a good project or anything. But
Yes.
if you invest in infrastructure building,
Hmm.
like what Narendra Modi did in post-COVID immediately,
Yes.
he spent heavily on infrastructure.
Yes.
He spent heavily on this kind of infrastructure demand.
Yes.
See, you may not dislike, you may dislike this Delhi, the Central Delhi, Central Vista project.
Hmm.
Imagine how many thousands of people were accommodated there and how much money,
Hmm.
using the multiply method, how much money was generated.
Hmm.
So when the economy was in the downswing, these things helped.
Yes.
So in West Bengal also, ठीक है, you just absolute downtrodden. You cannot starve them to death.
Hmm.
So you
Yes.
do something. So you have to think of a policy that way.
Yeah.
You cannot just simply say that 12,000 instead of giving to let's say in Bandar, I will build a factory. You cannot in the
Or
first place.
build roads and flyovers worth rupees 12,000 crores. Or
There are
therefore,
many ways of building roads and flyovers.
yeah.
Or
And
the first thing is that you have to give them the land properly.
yes. And forgive taxes to corporates worth rupees 12,000 crores because you don't need that money anymore. And so then those companies can grow even further and employ more people.
No, this as such state taxes are how many? Only two taxes you can excise
Yes.
and liquor.
Yes.
So not many options are there. You have GST. So if your
Yes.
business grows in that area,
Yes.
then more products will sell. You will collect more GST.
Yes.
So you have to see which will help your economy to develop.
Yes.
You have to see sectorally.
Hmm.
You have to maybe help the tea industry. You have to help these potato growers. You have to use this government's MSP mechanism and the rice growers.
Hmm.
Here, they should not sell at say 1200 rupees or something per quintal, and they will in turn sell at 2000 rupees a quintal in
Yeah.
Delhi. They
Yes.
should help them to transfer their product there and help
Yes.
them to. The state can do a lot of things also,
Yes.
assist these poor people.
Yes.
So those are the things that can be done even within the limited resources also.
Hmm.
So the state will have to see its own resource and see what it can do.
Will West Bengal state come out of center's debt anytime soon? Because I'm guessing
No, no,
BJP will also.
this is again something. Central's debt will remain. So what is that? As long as you are within the ceiling, so that you
Yes.
can borrow again. So what is the problem?
Yes.
I do not have to live debt free. The
Hmm.
state need not have. The government of India does not live debt free. USA is not debt free.
Yeah, of course, not completely debt free, but because of this idea that we don't have to pay off our debts, the Trinamool has this idea that we can therefore accumulate as much debt as possible, no problem.
Trinamool does not have any economic sense. It's a mafia Raj.
Yeah.
They have no understanding of that, and their supporters are also argue like that. So
Yes.
I mean, it's no point. See, how can you add some 4 lakh crore debt
Hmm.
during these
Exactly.
4 5 years?
Yes, sir. That is the
Sorry,
point.
10 years.
Yes.
You cannot do that.
Yes. So, do you see any difference between West Bengal CPIM and Kerala CPIM? Their
Now, of
policies.
course, there is a lot of difference. In Kerala, is a different sort of society and economy.
What is it because of?
No, of course, I have not studied Kerala that closely, but as I find
Hmm.
that many of them are, they go out, they are more educated, they go out, they work,
Hmm.
and what is it? Highly polarized, religion-wise, highly fragmented society,
Yes.
and they have what Kerala did very well, and from there they earn good money. Also, is tourism.
Yes.
God's own country. This campaign is
Yes.
quite old, maybe as old as.
Branding. Yes.
So those things has helped Kerala.
Yes. Sir, so now last question for today. What changes do you think is required in the West Bengal's education system? College, higher education, everything. Primary.
The first thing is that there has to be proper teachers, proper schooling, and uh,
Hmm.
I think re-education of the teachers, the
Yes.
professors, that is also necessary.
Yes.
So they have to be given free hand. They have to be trained. They have to be. See, you can train them in many ways. You can take the teachers to say some other vibrant university or college and show them how they are taught, show
Hmm.
them the studies they do.
Hmm.
You can bring in this new curriculum also.
Hmm.
Nowadays, you do not need to read books also, but you need
Hmm.
digital
Yes.
literacy. So you can do lots of things. I mean, which does not mean huge expenditure. You
Hmm.
can bring in private investment also for that
Yes.
development.
Yes. Sir, so many teachers are protesting on the roads instead of teaching for 7 8 years. Is that because they are that desperate about their justice, or they are basically unqualified to teach in any other avenue or be productive in any other private industry?
No, you mean those people who are protesting for
Hmm.
not getting the job?
Yes. For
Yeah,
7 8 years.
sadly, in West Bengal, as I had told you, that we have become a clerical society from the very beginning. We
Hmm.
all look for job, and if
Hmm.
I don't get a job, then I do not know what else to do, and they
Yeah.
do not want to leave their place also.
Hmm.
Maybe they are not adventurous, or maybe they also suffer from some kind of what do I say? Otherwise, I mean, if you are able to earn on your own,
Hmm.
why will you go stand in the street
Hmm.
and keep on protesting every day?
Yes.
Why will you do it? It clearly shows that they do not have it, or they never thought of, or they never trained themselves up for any other
Hmm.
eventuality, or even doing
Yes.
something. So
The
it's a
obsession
sad
with
reflection
government
on the
jobs.
state itself.
Sorry.
It's a very sad reflection on
Right.
the state.
Yes. Sir, that obsession with government job, does it need to go away? Can it be made to go away?
Well, if we can help them with other jobs where they earn good money. In fact, those people who leave West Bengal and work elsewhere in Bangalore IT or in the Noida IT or somewhere else,
Hmm.
or Bombay in the financial services sector,
Hmm.
none of them are employed by the government, no?
Hmm.
And they are earning good money.
Yes. Sir, a few CPM leaders in my, not leaders, CPM party workers in my family have argued with me that they did great things with the education system because they gave job security, etc. Now I am a libertarian at heart. I'm very pro market, etc. So that makes me wonder that why then when you gave job security, all of a sudden we stopped creating great Bengali scientists. So do you think job security is a good thing or a bad thing? Shouldn't that be taken away from primary school teachers?
No, security is something, some security if you are giving them some job, and if you do not know whether tomorrow if I come, my job will remain or not.
Hmm.
Uh, that kind of thing is definitely bad. There has to be some kind of security, economic security you have to offer. Then only a person can offer something good. I am not in favor of that disturbing a person in his job or anything. But security, just even if I don't do anything, do not
Exactly.
come to school to teach,
That
and
is my
still I
point.
can do these things.
Hmm.
This, of course, is something, again, this is the extreme of security.
Yes.
But that is definitely cannot be supported.
Hmm.
But security of a job per se, I am not against it. There has to be some kind of security, no?
But if your job doesn't go away, the moment you hear that, won't you immediately start being lazy in your job or being bad at your
No,
job?
no. There are two ways. One is, of course, one is job security in the per se. Suppose you are getting 500 rupees a month and you keep on earning 500 rupees for the next 30, 40 years as long as you work. That is one aspect. Another is you are doing good. Today you are earning 500. You are doing better. So you'll get 700, 10, 1000,
Right.
and so on and so forth. So show them some kind of aspiration.
Hmm.
See, that is there. I'm sure any human being or any animal for that matter will opt for that.
Yes, that is a nice idea. Okay, sir. Thank you for joining our podcast
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. Long
Hope to have you
conversation.
back
Thank you.
sometime soon. Thank you,
Sure.
sir.
Thank you. All the best. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, that was fun. Now let me check some comments, guys. Thank you for joining. So many people. Government job requires your youth, not a cheap commodity at all. Yes. I don't like that beef is so normalized there. Hungry bees, bhai, Bengal is still way better than Biharis come to West Bengal for jobs. Imagine the situation. Yeah, true. Everyone should learn from Marwaris and Banias. They can open businesses just like that. S. Paul is saying, S. Raul is saying, Bengal had capitalism, Bihar never had capitalism. Yes, and that was because Bengal and Bihar's main difference is that Bengal was bordering a sea. It was near the river. It was near the Bay of Bengal. The right, you take the Ganga, broad Ganga here. Take a boat and go to the sea very very close to it. It's nearby. Therefore, the British set up their capital here. Therefore, all the prosperity came here. Therefore, all the education and art and culture came here. All that did not go to Bihar. Other than that, there's no difference between Bihar and West Bengal. Sir, how to delegitimize left ideologically? Still, they have stronghold in major universities and act as an anti-development agent and making collusion with global left to real. Yeah, we'll ask these things the next time. Okay, I have an answer to that, of course. My answer is only go on debating and do not look down upon credentials. Debate credentialed people and try to change their mind, because the day we have a critical mass of credentialed people who in fact have a different point of view, that's when you start winning the game. RSS's idea, which Sitaram Goel used to also criticize, is that they kind of gave up on intellectuals. So I'm saying do not give up on intellectuals, do not give up on the PhD degree, do not give up on the master's degree, do not give up on degrees, okay? You'll need to denote a person. Even Janeu is a degree at the end of the day, okay? It's how you know whether this person knows something or not. Otherwise, every time you want to hire a person or ask a person to advise you, you'll have to sit with him for hours and hours and hours, or days maybe, go through his own and his entire body of work, read his papers. After that, you are going to be able to judge. But masters, PhD, Janeu, these things at least tell you that, yeah, this person might know something about some topic. So start debating people, have the balls and courage to debate people with credentials, then try to change your mind, and if possible get some degrees yourself. Yeah, maybe difference is that Bihar didn't have a city like Kolkata. Kolkata made the difference. Kolkata did not make the difference. British made the difference to Kolkata. Hello, bro. Study the effect of 1857 revolt on Bihar. You will understand why it is poor. Yes. Dada, what should be the course of action for a 22-year-old just graduated middle class general Bengali guy? If not, go for government jobs. Which field are you in? Depends on that. If you are in STEM field, go. The world is your oyster. Earn as much money as you can. If you are in the arts field, get into liberal arts. Change people's minds. Debate everyone. Me leaving BSc, going to join father's business. Oh, nice. Okay then, guys. Bye bye. Coming back soon with the membership podcast in about 1 hour or so.